Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Fooled by Plans. Today, I have something very special for you guys. This is one of my recipes that I make for parties all the time, and I never give this recipe out, but it's time to share it with the world. I've been asked so many times for this recipe, even most recently, just a few weeks ago, so it's time to share it with the world. Now, while I can't call it what I would normally call it because of trademark restrictions, we are going to call it a famous fast food burger dip. And I think once you start seeing what's going into this recipe, you'll understand exactly what kind of fast food burger dip this is. So we're going to start first by making the secret sauce. So I'm going to bring up the list of ingredients for this sauce. Now, while this is a key component to this dish, I'm not going to lie to you. I make this sauce and I just keep it and use it for burger toppings when I'm making my own plant based burgers and recreating the famous fast food burger at home. So you could do that and you can use this recipe for the sauce and just use it as a sauce. But it is a key component in this dip that we're making today. So let's get started. In a mixing bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup, an entire cup of your favorite plant-based mayonnaise. Whatever you have available in your store, that'll work. To this, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of yellow mustard, just like it comes right out of the container. Nothing special about it. To this, we're also going to add 1 tablespoon of ketchup. Now, I'm from Pittsburgh, so there's only one kind of ketchup that we use in Pittsburgh, but you can always use whatever kind of ketchup you have available. It just won't be the same. Also, we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of dill pickle relish, not sweet relish, dill pickle relish. Sometimes it's called hamburger relish, depending on what brand you buy. And then now we're also going to add in 1 tablespoon of French salad dressing, not creamy French, not Catalina French, a sweet, plain French dressing. French dressing. I think I misspoke there. So 1 tablespoon of French salad dressing. And now we're going to add in a few spices. So we're going to go with 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of regular paprika. So now that we have all of those in our bowl, we're going to mix this together. And actually, it does go a lot faster if you use a whisk. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go whisking it. So whisk, whisk, whisk. And after a few seconds, it does not take very long for this sauce to come together. We have our special sauce that we are going to use for our famous fast food burger dip. So for you can see at home, it's the right color, smells exactly like what you get at that famous fast food restaurant. Now, what we need to do at this point is we need to set aside for this recipe a 1/4 cup. So we're going to put a 1/4 cup of this special sauce and we're going to set it aside. And I like to use a little sandwich bag, and you'll see why I use a little sandwich bag to do this. Because at the end, we're going to use this 1/4 cup to put on the top of our prepared famous fast food burger dip. And it's just easy to pipe it out of the cut end of a sandwich bag. Throw this in the refrigerator so it can chill. All right, now the rest of the ingredients that are going to go into the filling or the base for our famous fast food burger dip is going to be 12 ounces of your favorite plant-based burger meat. I'm using this brand today just because it's the brand that I use the most. I just like the way that it cooks. I like the way that it tastes, but you can use whatever brand of plant-based burger crumbles that you want to use. Again, in this recipe, I would not add any additional fat to your prepared plant-based meat. We're just going to heat this up because we're going to put it in the base of our dip. Now, even though this is going to bake in the oven, we want to make sure that this burger is fully cooked and spiced and broken up into crumbles. So to season the meat, we're going to do a half a teaspoon of black pepper and a quarter teaspoon of sea salt. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start browning this up in the pan. And I'm going to fast forward so you guys don't have to be bored with watching me brown this ground plant-based meat. So I'm going to fast forward and then we'll go on with the rest of the recipe. All right, great. Now we have our plant-based beef substitute browned and ready to continue on with the rest of the recipe. So to the remainder of that special sauce that we added, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in the 12 ounces of the browned beef substitute right into our mixing bowl. Perfect. And then into this also, we are going to add 1 cup of your favorite plant-based cheddar shreds. And also, we are going to add 2 8-ounce containers of your favorite plant-based cream cheese. So that would be 2 containers, 8 ounces each, so a total of 16 ounces of your favorite plant-based cream cheese. So we're going to get this in our mixing bowl. Make sure we get all of it in there. Don't want to leave anything behind. All right, great. So we have 16 ounces of cream cheese, our special sauce, our cup of plant-based cheddar shreds, and our cream cheese. Now, this is going to be hard to mix, so I'm actually going to use my stand mixer. You could use a hand mixer or a hand blender to do this, but we just really want to smooth out the cream cheese and make sure everything is well incorporated. So I am going to go ahead and throw this in Sir Mix-a-Lot here. And as soon as it's done mixing, we'll come back. So I'll fast forward so you don't have to hear a blend. All right, as you can see, Sir Mix-a-Lot made very quick work out of combining all of these ingredients. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we are going to transfer this base for our dip into a baking dish. Now, if I'm going to a party, I double this recipe because it goes so fast. So you can literally double this recipe. Or if you're just going to a small party and you feel like there's just going to be a few people, this pie dish is what I'm going to use today. And that will work perfectly fine for a smaller party or a smaller gathering. Or if you just feel like making this and having it at home, you could have your own party with it. So we're just going to scoop out all of the mixture into a baking dish. We don't want to leave anything behind because there's a lot of yummy tasties in there. And we're going to just go ahead and smooth it out, even it out as much as you can. We just want to make sure that it bakes evenly. So we just want to make sure that it's as smooth out and as even as possible. All right, perfect. So I'm going to take 1/2 cup of that same plant-based shredded cheddar cheese substitute. And we're just going to sprinkle that on top. This is really going to help sell this dip when you go ahead and you dip into it, that it is just like that famous fast food burger. Just go ahead and make sure that it's evenly distributed along the top so that every bite gets equal cheese time. And there you go. We are now going to throw the base for our dip in a preheated 350-degree oven, and it's going to stay in there for 30 minutes. So we're going to pop this in the oven, and when we come back, we'll top it off and we'll try it and see if my famous fast food burger dip, all made with plants, can fool you into thinking you're eating the original. See you in a few minutes. All right, so our famous fast food burger dip just came out of the oven. As you can see, everything is nice and bubbly around the edges. Our plant-based cheddar has melted, and it's time just to top this. So I'm going to take some dill pickle or hamburger pickle chips, and I have cut these up and I diced them. So we're going to sprinkle some of these diced pickle slices on top. Now, like anything else, if you like pickles, you can add more. If you like less pickles, do less. I would encourage you, though, to get the true taste of this dip, to try to put on as many as you can, because it really does add to the base flavor and what makes this taste exactly like the original thing that it is trying to replicate. And I'm also going to do the same thing with some diced onions. Now, these have been finely diced. If you're all familiar with that famous fast food burger, if you ever looked at the onions on there, they are diced super finely. So that's how I did it as well, just to help recreate not only the taste and the flavor, but also the mouthfeel that you would have from eating a burger from that particular fast food restaurant. You don't want to overdo it. You just want to do enough to cover the top. Nice. And then we're going to throw some shredded lettuce on top. And we really do just want to put enough on this just to cover the top. Just like, it would be on the burger. We're just going to throw some shredded lettuce on top. Nice little bed. It's just going to give you just a hint of that flavor when you're eating it in the dip. Now, remember that quarter cup that we set aside of our secret sauce? Well, this is where we're going to go ahead and use it now. So I put mine in a little sandwich baggie so that I could just cut the tip off and then use the bag to pipe it. So I'm just going to drizzle that remaining quarter cup of our secret sauce on the top. Make sure that you get it all on there. Don't want to waste any of it because it really does taste amazing. And then the final thing, just to set it off, is just take some sesame seeds and just sprinkle just a few of those on the top, just to round out that entire flavor profile from the famous fast food burger that we recreated in dip form. So there you have it, everyone. This is the famous fast food burger dip. I'm going to clean this off and we're going to give it a taste test just to see if this tastes exactly like the original did and to see if we were fooled by plants. We'll recap the recipe and we'll come right back. Okay, well, it's time to see. Did this turn out and taste exactly like that famous fast food burger does? Only way to find out is to give it a try. So I'm going to scoop in, make sure I grab a layer of everything from the bottom to the top. And I like to serve these with sliced baguettes or any kind of bread that you can slice and serve thinly. This is very popular in parties. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to scoop, give it a taste. Mm-hmm. Tastes like I just came through the drive-thru. This is amazing. You're going to want to make this. Now, when you were prepping this and making the top, if you had some ingredients left over, like you had more diced onions and pickles and lettuce than you use, that's okay. Separate them and put them in baggies, because as your party's going on, the top layer of this is probably going to go away and you're still going to have some of that base. So just use your leftovers and refresh the dip during the party. So this has been another one of our Fooled by Plant recipes, and I was definitely fooled by plants, and you will be too. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel and these videos so that you'll be updated every time we release a new recipe. And if you didn't catch everything that we did during the demonstration, you can always go to fooledbyplants.com and get a downloadable or printable copy of this exact recipe. So until next time, thank you